Overflows.
Shunyavad, the way of emptiness. Shunya is the Hindi word for zero, emptiness. And Shunyavad is translated into English as emptiness. It has a circumference. Zero has a circumference, but nothing inside. Emptiness is the unknown phenomena. Emptiness is the fragrance of the unknown. Emptiness is the first requirement for transformation. If you want to bring change into your room, first you have to empty it of all the contents, and then you do whatsoever you have to do: renovate, repaint, decorate, and bring different other furnitures and so. So emptiness is the first requirement for transformation. Do not wait, and at the same time, do not hope that something is going to fill this emptiness. If you are waiting, hoping, and desiring, you are not really empty. If you are waiting that something, some unknown force will descend upon you, you are not empty. The hope is there, the desire is there. What emptiness really means, the hope and desire. Now you look at the room. Room is totally neutral. It is whether it is full or empty. When it is empty, it is not desiring to be empty. When it is full, it is not desiring to be full. This room is matter. It cannot think for itself. But as an individual, you can. But sometimes we act as a matter, not as consciousness. If you are waiting that something, some unknown force will descend upon you, you are not empty. The hope is there, the desire is there, and a deep longing is there. So do not desire for something to fill you. Simply be empty. And when you are empty, when the breath goes out, is exhaled and goes out, you are not desiring to make anything. It automatically comes into you. You take a bucket of water and you make a fist and put the fist into the water. A space is created. The vacuum is created. And the moment you pull out your hand, pull out your fist, you do not, in that space, you do not pour the water to fill it. Automatically from all around, the water gathers and fills that space. This is how it happens. The water in the bucket is not desiring to fill the gap that has been created by pulling the fist that has been into the bucket of water. Simply be empty. Do not even wait. Emptiness is the unknown. When you are really empty, the unknown has descended upon you. Just as the moment you pull out the fist from the bucket of water, automatically from all around, the water will gather and fill that space. Same thing way, when you are really empty, the unknown has descended upon you. It is not that first you become empty and then unknown enters. It happens simultaneously. The emptiness and the unknown are one. It is like a drop merging into the ocean. The moment drop merges into the ocean, it becomes oceanic. It becomes the quality of the ocean. So there is no time gap between emptiness and filling it again. There are two types of emptiness, negative emptiness and the positive emptiness. Negative emptiness is loneliness. You miss the presence of something. And the positive emptiness is aloneness. Everything is inclusive. The inner emptiness itself is the mystery. You cannot feel it, you cannot know it, you can become it. You are it. When the inner space is there, then you are. In the beginning, it appears to you as emptiness, and that is the only appearance because you have always been filled by the ego. Really, you are feeling the absence of the ego. That is why you feel empty. So this is negative emptiness. First, the ego disappears, but the feeling that ego is no more there creates a feeling of emptiness. In the beginning, it is emptiness. It is negative. It creates a problem. You feel something that was there is just not there. There is the absence. Something was there and now it is not there. The ego has gone, but the absence of the ego and the absence of ego is felt. So first you had something and that person is no more there. You feel the absence of the person. And then a moment comes. First the ego disappears. Ego disappears. And if you do not panic, instead you accept this emptiness there, then the absence of ego also disappears. It is thinking that way. In your life, you had someone, a spouse, and then one day he disappears, leaves, comes out of the company. So you will feel the absence of it first. And that absence will create a disturbance in you, a panic. It will be negative emptiness. His absence is a negative emptiness because you were desiring that presence. Then it happens after some time, you get used to this absence, his absence, and then even the feeling of absence disappears. So first the ego disappears, and if you do not panic, like when your spouse leaves you and you do not panic, then it will happen. His absence will be felt first, then even the absence will disappear. And then you enter the positive emptiness, and that emptiness is aloneness. Only then you will be really empty, and to be really empty is to be filled. When first the absence of that person disturbs you, and if you do not panic, you do not enter into the negative realm, then what will happen, even his absence that was once felt will disappear, and then the you are empty of his presence, but something else has filled you and you are filled at the same time. That inner space which is created by the absence of the ego is the divine. The divine is not to come from somewhere else. You are already that because you are filled with ego and you cannot realize the presence of the divine. Also, you cannot see it, you cannot touch it. There is a thin barrier of ego that prevents you from there. When the ego has dropped, the barrier is dropped, the curtain is no more there, nothing is to come, whatsoever to come is already there. Remember that Nothing now is going to come to you. The whatsoever is possible is already there, actual. So the question is not of achieving, the question is only of discovering that which is there. The treasure is there, just covered. You have to uncover it. When you become awakened, and then you become awakened. Buddha was asked again and again, what have you gained when you became, and what have you gained? What have you achieved? Buddha is reported to have said, I have not achieved anything. Rather, on the contrary, I have lost myself, and that which I have achieved was already there, so I cannot say that I have achieved it. I was unaware of it, and now I am aware of it. But I cannot say that I have achieved it. Rather, on the contrary, now I wonder how I was missing it all the time. How was it possible that I did not know it before? And it was always there, but I was unaware of it. Just by the corner, just by turning was needed. The divinity is not a future, your divinity is the present, this very moment. It is here and now. This very moment you are there, you are that, but unaware, not looking in the right direction or not turning to it. That is all. You have turned your face away from that which is already there. A radio is there. The waves are passing right now. But if the radio is not tuned into a particular wave, the wave is unmanifest. The moment you tune your radio to that wave, the particular wavelength, or the radio station, then then that particular radio station or the wave becomes manifest. A tuning is necessary. You have to tune yourself to that innerness. Meditation is that tuning. When you are tuned, that which is unmanifest becomes manifest. But remember, do not desire, because the desire will not allow you to be empty. And if you are not empty, nothing is possible, because the space is not there. So your own unmanifest nature cannot be revealed to you. It needs space to be revealed, and do not ask how to live with emptiness. That is not the real question. Just be empty, and you are not yet empty. The moment you are empty, you will come to know. And if once you know what emptiness is, you will love it. It is ecstatic. It is the most beautiful experience ever possible to the mind, to man, to consciousness. You are not to ask how to live with emptiness. You are asking that if emptiness is something like a misery, it appears to be as ego. Ego is always afraid of emptiness. So you ask how to live with it, how to live with it. As if it is an enemy. Emptiness is your innermost center. All the activities are on the periphery. The innermost center is just zero. All the manifestation, all that is manifest is on the periphery. The deepest core of your being is the unmanifest vacuum or emptiness. Enough for now.